Greetings everyone, and Great here with another H-Powers 4 replay. Spawn on the top right side as the yellow Delhi Sultanate with liquid DeMu. Spawn on bottom left side as the pink Abbasid Dynasty. We have edenov01. Don't know how to pronounce that. And now we do got the forward milking pond field. Do note fish collects at the same rate as deer. And there's a lot of fishies here. I tend to go for the fishies there on this map with when I play as Mongols, and it does provide you a lot of income. Do note they don't get the increased carrying capacity like with deer, so it's technically slightly slower from longer traverse times, but it still can provide you some great amount of food, and if you play as Mongols, the Greers can be packed up and move around. One of the few times where the pack up for the Greers is actually useful. Power of Victory being put on the field, and now I've got the Economic Ring as well. This of course allows them access to the cheaper economic building research, which can be handy, especially if you want to collect up more fishies. The Tower of Victory does provide some great benefits in any nearby infantry being put on the field. That's a quick, brief conversation as well. What should both players put out? Abbasid has access to the golems and camels. Golems are more of an anti-low armor specialist from anti-arms man-at-arms unit, but that's of course the Castle Age. Pink, however, needs to start bring back all the sheeple. Yellow does have some sheeple being brought back as well, but not a whole lot. Camels are, of course, designed to be anti-cavalry. Camel archers are good versus spearmen as well, and available in feudal age. Camel riders, of course, available in castle age. At least Sultan have access to the Ghazi riders and elephants. Elephants can be countered, and people may have realized been going more and more for them, but they can be easily countered, in my opinion, with spearmen. They're population efficient, but not really cost efficient. So if you really want a really powerful army, that can be, for one final assault, it can be very powerful. But if your opponent deploys out a large number of spearmen beforehand, pick them off early, they're not going to do all too well, in my opinion. Ghazi Rider and Scout trying to torch down the mill there. He does collect a good number of fishies there all around the mill, so if he's going to collect up more fishies, he's going to need to pull out another mill either way. With the 4 towns up there, it's help him claim up this gold that's somewhat far forward, as well as the berries. But I still may want to get a mill nearby these berries to improve the capacity. See, this one here, 3 of them have improved capacity of 350 as opposed to 250. And now Yellow's going to claim up the sacred sites early, so multiple sacred sites being catching up. This one is not being claimed at the moment. Don't see any scholars in the region. We've got more Ghazi Riders, more archers on the field. Ink has not deployed out any additional military units, so he's skipping out his military, which can be good or bad. One of the two. It's never really meh in important. He does have 8 villagers right there. He's getting inside the town center. Does get inside the town center there. Ghazi Riders, of course, have 2 inherent pierced armor, and Yellow's going for pierced damage for pierced armor. Abbasid Dynasty player doesn't have really the wood to spare out to get out a mill. And do remember as well, there's a good amount of fishies in the middle of the map. There's also some fishes around here. Wild man stalking around. It's usually somewhere in the middle. Don't see him at the moment. Should be somewhere around. Oh, there he is. Get a villager nearby it, and you have one villager that access 3. Exotic Doggo does get killed. No head pats for him. Another Exotic Doggo does go down. You have now the wild man spotted by Yellow, and now you have the villager here trying to get inspired by the wild man. Personally, I'll say once you get a villager inspired by the wild man, go back, put a farm there, and leave him there. Keep him nice and safe. You can perhaps put him nearby a stone of gold. Not really really great for wood if they increase traverse time, but I would say put him by a farm. Gold or stone is probably the best spot for the inspired villager. I just generally say farm because it keeps them nice and safe, and who wouldn't want a good food collection source? Especially well when it comes to wood, you still have to take time to chop down trees for that villager, as well as the faster collection rate means they're going to spend more time traversing. Yeah, I would still say gold, stone, or farm would be best for those inspired villagers. We do got a banner ram now being pulled off the field, very nice. Banner ram's going to try to batter down this town center. Do still only have a single scout. Pink has skimped out on the military a bit too much now. He does have enough villagers to get these areas fully garrisoned, but then he's going to have to use remaining villagers to repair and force down. We're going to be trying to overrun these remaining villagers there. This town center's going down, going for the military wing, which was getting a pair of camel riders to engage these Ghazi riders. They are classified as a light, not heavy, so the Ghazi riders' bonus damage will not be applied. Does kill off pair of villagers there. The arrow slots have been researched well, giving some extra damage on each of these arrows. Ghazi Rider starting to slowly go on down. And that's a scout engaging Ghazi Rider. Not a good engagement there. Town center is now set ablaze. Now he's going to force out these villagers there. And he's going to take that, grab the town center, may actually save. He's going to lose some villagers there, but his opponent has not deployed out an additional town center just yet, which means he does have a superior number of villagers, so losing some of these villagers is an issue, but not a massive issue. Let's go ahead and transfer these villagers forward, try and get some hits there. It's still ablaze, but has some health to work with. And he does save the town center there. He saved it without deploying out a single military unit. House of Learning being deployed on the field. I'm not familiar with that one. That's like a unique university, right? With unique technologies. Grants no immediate bonus other than advance to the next age, but contains many unique economic technologies and religious technologies. I believe a lot of those technologies are just not very good. We can evaluate them once it gets built. But if my memory serves correctly, 3 out of the 5 are just not useful. And of course, now the military wing now deployed on the field. Well, as probably keep an eye, just make sure they are unique. Yep, let's see now. Infantry villagers can garrison inside houses of protection, and houses do gain arrows, which actually is okay. It's decent, not bad. Over here, we do have the mosque resort 2 health to nearby units that are out of combat. That's not useful. Most time, people don't take the time to follow them back, get healed up, so that's not useful. Increase the sight range of outposts by 50%, increase weapon range by 1. That's okay, but not really significant still. And arms and lancers are equipped with Kishi, increasing damage output by 3. That is actually incredibly good, and that's why he's going for it first. And of course, now we've got the increased carrying capacity of +5 by villagers. Very useful for collecting wood, and perhaps fishies. Let's go ahead and not convert those camel riders there. Very good. Good attempt, and good dodge. As I was saying before, I suppose there's 2 good research, 2 meh research, and 1 just completely worthless research. And yeah, the mosque one, in my opinion, should be last. Yeah, he has gone for second last with that one. The increased sight range of outposts is actually nice. The +1 arrow range, weapon range, right now is not that important, honestly. But the increased damage for the men-at-arms and lancers will always be nice, that's for sure. Speaking of which, we do see some lancers being deployed on the field now. Still plenty of fishies to claim. We got a line of palisade walls there just to help protect this flank. Men-at-arms pushing way forward. They are golems. They do extra damage. They don't necessarily do extra damage. They have 2 attacks, which makes it a bit more effective versus lightly armored units. But still does decent damage versus everything. Villagers now seeing some hits there from the archers there. Does get some more arrow hits there on the golems. He does have the pierce armor there. There's the veteran archer research. Remember as well, Delhi Sultanate does not have timing tax, age up timing tax, because it takes forever to research anything. Having an archer research now upon the field gives them much needed damage increase versus golems. These villagers may get overran by these lancers. I hear some more relics being picked on up. Yellow has 3 relics captured. 1 relic has been picked on up. Getting rid of all the scholars you can get out in the field. It can be pretty easy to pick up those relics when you get to the next age. Does have a single magnet pull on the field. Remember as well, Delhi Sultanate can, not Delhi Sultanate, Abbasid Dynasty can deploy out advanced siege weapons like the Mongols without the need to research like the Mongols. Magnet trying to be prepared enough on the field, does get taken out there, only picks off 1 more archer there. We do have this camera rider there, does do bonus damage with Lancers, does provide an aura debuff to the Lancers, but does get picked off there, so those camera riders are down. Horsemen advancing forward, trying to overrun these archers there, does get some bonus damage with the archers, and got some spearmen here as well. The golems are not a good idea against this opponent. There's too many lances in the field. He needs to go for more camel riders, horsemen, and spearmen. Some crossbow wouldn't hurt as well. The yellow's archer special forward gets great damage there. King starts more villagers in a moment. 67 to 51. Makes us 66 now. All these villagers are going down. He's losing a good number of them. So does have a good number of arrows in this region to help provide some defensive fire. These lance cover can withstand quite a bit of arrow fire. Right now these arrows do 7 damage each, and the lancer has 6 pierce armor, which makes it so these arrows will do 1 damage each. Not a lot. Though the primary arrow does do a bit of extra damage. Decided to abandon the tower there to get inside the town, so this has more health to keep these villagers alive. And right now, Pink has no military unit. He's really not deploying out military units. His opponent has 48 military units at the moment. This is a big problem with Pink right now. He's just not building military units. And he's going to play out a good number of crossbows, which is going to be good against those golems, but at this point in time, Pink needs a 30 spearmen right now. Town center will be set up blaze there, and the village inside will likely go down. The village trying to run away. They're greatly even out the villager count there. It's going for some Magnels, but there's just too many mounted units. Sure, it would be good against those archers, but he simply does not have a front line to keep him alive. He's going for a camel rider, very good. Sandy gets some more. Doesn't have a whole lot of resources at the moment. The Delhi Sultanate player does have good reserve of gold. Dale's going for the Imperial Academies, which will of course greatly increase his production speed. Housing's kind of going down. That losing this housing will actually put the Abbasid Dynasty player at pop cap. He's at pop cap right now, so he's going to need to put more housing and a lot of housing. Magnol's advancing forward, trying to find a volley on the. Almost tried to hit a unit way over there, and the horseman almost went into it. Mill will go down, but the improved capacity of these berry bushes is still active. Crossbone gets on the Ghazi rider, and Yellow's going to be claiming up this relic there. And all 5 relics will be claimed by the Delhi Sultanate player. Massive amount of gold generation if he gets Tide Farm. Massive amount of resources in general. You know how the phalanx may research. Increasing attack range of spearmen is actually very important. King still only has a force of 28 versus 68. Yeah, still has more villages mode because he actually has another town center back there, but both players now have a second town center. Now got the Hizar Academy deployed on field. Access University, the Madrasa, how do we pronounce that? Generates additional food per minute based on technologies research. Does not count weapon placement as technologies research. which will provide some great amount of food generation, as well as it's a good combination with the House of Learning, because that's the 5 additional technologies there, giving us additional 60 food generation. Also, get the university out in the field without needing to pull out university. It's a good landmark, that's for sure. You probably should start queuing up all this important research, valuable research. So he has mostly cavalry-based composition, no infantry, so biology is going to be very handy. It's going incendiary arrows wouldn't hurt as well, since he has a lot of archer units. Could queue up the biology afterwards as well. He's advancing forward with a very pathetic force compared to his opponent. And then we got a nice circle there, but great spear braces there by the spearman. Finds a volley there, getting minor damage there, and Ink should not have went out like that. Ink's horse will get killed off by all these horsemen. So they're dancing around a little bit, trying to focus on the Mangonels first. He does dodge the Mangonel shots there, and Pink will lose his army. Spearman advancing forward. Big line of big brick of research for the Deadly Sultanate. I just see food when I see that now because of that landmark. Right now, the Deadly Sultanate player has good reserve of all resources, including some stone. Opens getting a Tide Barn relatively soon. Monk, and then Tide Barn research afterwards. And a good number of scholars down the field. You gotta keep over here. Asshole mining camp. Looks like yellow's gonna be trying to secure forward stone. Or yellow. Ink does have a backline stone here and here. This map has a large number of large stone deposits along the flanks. Ink's going for another town center. At this point in time, maybe a little bit too late for that. Plus, he already has nearly 90 villagers, so it will provide diminishing returns. Got the armored beast now being researched for the war elephants. And we are seeing a war elephant on the build queue as well. He's starting to transition to, looks like, war elephants. He's going for a line of palisade walls there. There's some fishies in this line of walls to be collected. I put a bit more emphasis on fish than probably I should, but I just have a high value on fish. Right here, if I were just to deploy out a couple mills there, so collecting all this fish, it's a lot of food here, like, and it's collected at the same rate as deer. Like, seriously, there's a lot of food here. Berries being collected up. Ink does have a small force here. The golem's not going to be very useful against his opponent's current composition. Has a lot of scholars on the field, that's for sure. Ink Scout's advancing on forward. Do of course have this war elephant now deployed on the field. It has 1,000 HP. Right now, Pink just need to pull out more spearmen. It'll be useful versus the war elephant and versus these various it doesn't have a whole lot of lancers left. So it'll be useful versus lancers. Gotta keep over here, can pull out villagers. Ink's now eyeing for some farms right there. Lancers do spot the farm. He does get a good swipe there on these villagers. Plus, he is not. Oh, he does actually get textiles research. Just that the damage is pretty high, especially for the Kijis. Right now, these lancers do provide. They have 2 lance attacks. That must be a slight bug in the UI there, because I don't think they both fire like that. Because right now this shows us 2 lance attacks as well as the melee sword. horsemen are not great versus lancers either way. This will give Pink the run around. Got more and more of these elephants in the point of field, including the crossbow battle elephants. Right now they're providing 22 damage with a plus 11 versus heavy. Another reason why not go for the golems. And they're very population efficient, so if he gets a good number of them, it can be very hard to stop them, like a rampaging elephant. Camels, do they provide damage debuffs to elephants? No, they do not get debuffed by camels. Good number of spearmen here. Archers running on in. Got some crossbows advancing forward as well. He does not have Castle Age or Imperial Age just yet. He has plenty of food burden, just not enough gold. Archers firing away. Elephants, the same bit of beating here. We've got good enough scholars here trying to heal up all these elephants. And that's another thing as well, since these scholars have no population room cost, he's able to pull out a good number of these scholars to keep these elephants healed up. Did lose some elephants, or no he didn't. Now did he? I thought he lost some. Right now, he just needs to get out more spearmen in general to just deal with all those elephants. So mangonels wouldn't hurt to hit these scholars. And Yellow's now cleaning up this 4 gold. Very, very 4 gold. That should be on his opponent's side of the map. Veteran horsemen do bonus damage versus range as well, so they will do bonus damage versus the power elephants. Let's see now. We're just going for more spearmen, which is a good idea. He's starting to get the culture wing to allow him to get can Ians convert elephants? Can we bring in Age of Empires 2 combat style in order to gauge the deal with elephants? I wonder. Let's see, does he have any mosques or monasteries, whatever they're called, for... Let's see, they're called mosques for the Delhi Sultanate. Of course, they're Arab. Is Muslim. We now have the cannon placement being pulled out of there, so we're really trying to collect that gold. And now we got a 4 keep being pulled out of pink. What golden age is he at? He's going at golden age 2. He needs a bit more structures there to get golden age 3. Perhaps could just throw out some more housing there. Now he has access to all these research. He's going for preservation knowledge. He can really maybe eyeing for trade, but it's not going to be useful because he already now in Imperial Age. It is dirt cheap, however. Now we got a vital wave of elephants being deployed on the field. Going for mostly the tower elephants, since they can be fired on the move. They're a good unit to mass produce since they provide a lot of surface area. But they're still vulnerable to horsemen as well as spearmen. We got some hand cannon uses support out as well. Tower elephants, what's their range? They have 5 tower range, hand cannon use base range is 4. And these villagers do find the gold deposit there. He sells this gold deposit here, has 3,000 gold work with, as well as deposit 1,700. Deepest here, no weapon upgrades. This counter can easily go down. He has a good number of spearmen and crossbows here. Crossbow needs to hit those war elephants. Spearmen just didn't need to hit anything. And now Jason hits there on these elephants. I think they also heard some spear braces there. Spearman is starting to get disintegrated. Does get the elite spearman research is very important in this engagement now. There's so many scholars in this region as well. Exam trouble. He needs to hit those archers against those scholars. Crossbowman needs to hit those war elephants. And he's having trouble remaxing out his spearmen. He has a good number queued up. But right now the high damage since these elephants are providing a lot of damage, and these scholars just very effective keeping these guys topped off in health. course, sort of advance on forward. He needs time to regroup his spearmen. He may not have enough barracks for that. I'm not sure how many barracks he has. Not a lot. Not enough. Counselor will not last long to these elephants. Now it's going for the prophesization, however you pronounce that word. I still don't know how effective that is versus tower elephants. I don't think I've seen anybody actually trying to deploy it out. Now getting some EMs being deployed on the field. More cavalry elephants being deployed on the field. I don't see that EM ability to convert as an ability. He does have a research there. Okay, now I hear those sound effects. They're converting individually. Let's see how. Oh, they convert at a decent rate there. So we've got War Elephant and a Pal Elephant both converted there. Very, very good. Trying to hit these EMs now. EMs are falling back. They can be completely overrun by Pal Elephants with their ranged crossbows. Getting some multiple conversions off there. I don't know if there's a cooldown on those conversions. But it looks like Yell still is able to overrun, just simply unable. He did not pull out proper counter in time, and that is the end of this replay. This is Android saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay.